haven't got a microphone, so I don't have to say anything.
You just do your thing.
Just,
You do your thing.
I say, with all the productions we do, I always say I'm the producer, Simon's the film star.
He is.
I'm better behind the camera than in front of it.
This is a good gathering. Well done, lads.
Yeah, a few shorts, about 7 or 8 shorts, but
Wednesday afternoon, you know, you've done well. Yeah.
Getting that many. Oh, you say 10% and all with a dropout.
Sure.
Right. Got to get people's attention now, won't we? Get these boys to come over.
How are we? I've just watched your man at 330 carry.
Yeah.
Did he get to 200 ball speed today?
No, 195. I mean, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's not golf that we know or knew or anything. It's beyond. I was impressive. I was impressive.
That wasn't even warmed up.
Yeah, it's been in the front.
With the way the cameras are,
Yes.
if we could just stay maybe just in the middle of the bay,
Yes, okay.
extremities of the bay, I think we lose. We lose
Okay,
shot.
sure. So I'm just in the...
Yeah.
Just in the middle. Got it.
Do you want any water or
I'm fine. Not at all. We're fine. Simon's going to heckle, so we're okay. Simon's prime.
He's in prime
Simon's
position.
prime with some questions. Going to throw the odd hospital pass.
Getting everyone's attention, I guess. No, I can.
Right. Okay.
If I can have everyone's attention. Lou. Oh, go on then, yeah. There we go. Nicely tuned. Thank you, Tony. Just want to say thank you to everyone for coming today. It's been quite a long journey for us to get to this place. So we started 17 and a half years ago in a 1,250 square foot unit with just the two of us and about 5 clients. And we're now at 13,500 square foot, 13 staff, and about 20,000 clients over the years. So it's been, it's so exciting to have gone from where we were to where we are now. And we've got so many old friends who we've known for 17 and a half years, some for 15 years, and industry friends, colleagues, and we're really, really thrilled that you're all here today. So thank you for coming. And we thought we'd just have a bit of a chat with Colin, a bit of an interaction. Nice afternoon, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves. So
Perfect.
So basically, yeah, I guess we first met back in about 2007.
Well, you said, yeah, we've been seeing it, golly, 15 years. My God, yes, 2007, and I was one of these guys that played golf very naturally. Nothing much was done technically. It was the days really before TrackMan and all the numbers came out, and I didn't know what clubs I was using really. I think there were, 15 years ago, 2000. I mean, it was some sort of Callaway club, no doubt. 2007. So it must have been the old, the Big Bertha days and what have you. You know? I just started with Yonex. I think I was, yeah. And after the Callaway days, and I didn't know what the clubs were. And this is why we're all here. That my clubs were, some were upright, so of course I hooked them, and some were flatter, so I sort of sliced them a bit, and some were okay. And everyone said, "What's your favourite club?" And I go, "Oh, I love my 7-iron." And we found that was the only one that was set perfectly, you know. And from now on, everyone says now to me, "What's your favourite club?" I go, "Well, they're all favourite because they're all set exactly the same, you know." And how many times have you picked up a set of clubs from an American Golf or whatever it might be? I'm not saying that as derogatory term, but any club you got possibly 3 6-irons in the bag, you know. Your 7-iron strong, your 5-irons weak, your 6-irons perfect. So you've got three 6-irons in the bag. You go, no, this isn't right. So this is why tennis pew down at Wisley, got in touch with you guys. I got in touch, and then since then, I've been hitting the ball, won the right distance with the right club. And I always pride myself on hitting the ball pin high with my irons. And it's amazing how much closer you are to the hole, isn't it, hitting the ball pin high than hitting it on line, long or short.
Most of us have a 20-yard chip from the rough to the side of a pin high, whereas you've got about 5-foot putt.
Pin high, I'm talking 10 foot, hopefully, you know, and then you've got a birdie putt, you know. And that's all I used to do. I used to hit the fairway. Used to, God, 59 now, I'm getting past that stage. But at the same time, used to hit the fairways, hit 16 greens, hole 4 putts, and score 68. Now you do that 4 times, and you're 16 under for the tournament, and you're picking up a reasonable check, if not a winner's check. And that's how the game, and that's how my game was based. Now it's a very different game. In many ways, it's a length. It's all about power. It's all about how far you hit the ball. But sometimes we've forgotten about the control of the shots, and that's what my game's based on. I'm not changing now at my age, but it's the control. And you still see some of the guys that are playing in the Tour Championship this year in Atlanta. You'll see some of the guys go over the back of the greens and they can't understand it. Some of the clubs just a little bit too hot sometimes with the irons, and sometimes it's not that same feel of distance control. And that's what my game was always based on, was distance control.
That's been quite fun working with you over the years with your feel. I think that's for me as a fitter. You've always been very good at telling me what you want to feel.
Yes.
So the challenge for me has been quite fun to kind of interpret that feel into the club side of things. I think that's where you've always been very good at communicating that. Though.
Yeah, I had to have weight in the head. I had to have weight. I have very light hands on the grip. Very light hands. Ladies exempt here, but I'm sure every man here would grip the club lighter at address than I do. And that allows me time to get back. It takes the stress and the strain out the forearms and allows me to get all the way back, or as far back as flexibility allows. And then it's time to come down, but not until then. We're always in a little bit of a rush, aren't we, to get down to the ball. That's what I pride myself on. I was never in a rush to get to the ball. I've never been in a rush in my life at all. I can't. But never in a rush to get to the ball. And I always had that weight of the club. My clubs were quite heavy, and I had that feel. And that's what I felt. I just felt the distance. If it was 168, I had that shot. I didn't care what it said at the bottom of the club. Now it's 168. My God, it's a 9-iron for these guys now, you know? But 168 is my 7-iron. And I'm quite proud of that. That's okay. If I want to hit it 173 or 174, well, I'll fade in a 6-iron. You know, that's why I've got 14 clubs, you know? No need to hit the ball any harder with a 7-iron because you've got 6 more yards to go. That's you start losing your feel and losing the distance control, and that's where I got quite good in hitting that ball the right distance. And now the balls are better now as well. Remember the days of the Bellata balls, which were more inconsistent with all the rubber around all the rubber bands around the balls. My God, they were much more inconsistent than the balls are now. So with the ball technology and the club technology, there's really no excuse not to be able to hit the ball the right distance.
I mean, you've seen a lot of, we've got a prime candidate over here, a lot of equipment changes over the years.
Oh, goodness me, yeah.
Dubai 18th hole drivers over here.
Well, yeah, I mean, Simon asked me to bring this in. This is, God, look at this. That's ancient, isn't it? That's showing my age. This is what they used to give you as a wooden, and it was good protection when you're flying, I suppose. But my God, you know. And this is my club. I've kept it. Thank God I have, because a lot of, sometimes you give these things to charity and what have you. But this is the club that I have. I have one plaque in the world on a golf course, and it's in Dubai. And it's on the Majlis course in Dubai, the Emirates Club. And this is the club that I used to hit a shot over the lake against...
That head was big when it came out.
And this was a big head. This was Big Bertha. This was a big head. It's 175 cc's, which is less than a 3-wood nowadays. Yeah, 170, is it 170 about a 3-wood nowadays?
Yeah, or 215
Yeah.
cc now.
Yes.
Up over 200.
So this is smaller than a 3-wood nowadays, but it was the one, they banned this actually. This is the one that had foam in it.
Put it into context.
Yeah, put it into context. There you go, look at that. I mean, Christ. I was actually quite good, you know. But that, I mean, it's crazy. And that was a driver, that was a big driver. But they banned this one. This is one of the first ones. It had foam in it, and the asbestos rulings said that they couldn't put foam in it anymore, and they had to make them hollow from then on. But yeah, it's worn out. You see how many times it went in the bag. This lasted a long time, this shaft, this System 36 shaft. RCH, Richard C. Helmstetter was the designer of the shafts. Worked alongside Ely Calloway, and hell, good club, you know, good club. And it's still, I haven't actually cleaned it, believe it or not. I haven't cleaned it, and it's still got Dubai. This is Dubai dirt on it. Yeah, this is Dubai. I haven't cleaned it, for God. And that was 1996. So 26 years ago.
Have you changed your technique much as the equipment's changed? Obviously, Simon, you work with us here as well, but you must have had to. I mean, you've probably seen one of the biggest amounts of change in equipment through your career.
Yeah,
many times.
It hasn't really. I know it. You know, Simon's here. Simon Holmes, my coach, is here, and he can talk more about this. But at the same time, technology hasn't really helped me. I was brought up hitting the ball down. All right, keep the ball down. That's what we were brought up on. No one ever hit the ball up in the air the way they do now. We always drove the ball down into the ground, and it was a safe way to play. And this club aided this, and now the modern clubs don't. So the modern equipment hasn't really afforded me any more distance than it should have done. I actually hit the ball exactly the same distance now as I did. This used to go 270, which in its day was quite long. Unfortunately, I still hit the ball 270, which is now, I was in the top 10%, and now I'm in the bottom 10%. And I play in the Champions Tour, over 50s, and I'm in the bottom 10% at 270. So it hasn't really afforded me the distance, the modern equipment, because I hit the ball down. Yeah. My attack angle, I'm going to get technical quickly, but the attack angle is down. I'm minus. And the guys nowadays, the Rorys and the Brysons and all these guys are +5, +6, +7 at least.
Longest it is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the length comes from with the modern equipment. And the ball, of course, is designed to stay in the air longer than it ever did. And aerodynamically, it stays in the air longer, so therefore it goes further. And it hasn't really helped me, no. But it's interesting, God, I didn't realise I hadn't cleaned it, sorry. But I won't ever clean it now, I'm going to keep that. That's Dubai dirt. It's always nice to beat Jimenez. You know? God, it wasn't long after that it changed, actually. That was 96. I think 97 started the Great Big Bertha. And then we had the biggest Big Bertha, which was tiny. But yeah, it was after that. It was after that time. It was an interesting story with Jimenez. I was playing against Jimenez, against another 155 guys actually, but it was him at the end. I was one ahead playing the last in Dubai, and I hit this off the tee, and I was slightly behind him, and I was one ahead playing the last hole, and I think the next guys were 3 or 4 behind, so it was between the two of us, and he outdrove me. And he made a cardinal sin. He showed me his cards because he pulled out his 3-wood. So I knew he was going for it. And I was playing my usual safe sort of stuff. I had a 6-iron in my hand to lay up. For those of you who don't know the course, there's a pond in front of the green. And it was into the wind. And I said to Alistair, my caddy at the time, I said, he's going for this. He said, well, there's only one club you can use. Monty, he said, because he called me Monty. We weren't friends at those times. And he said to me, you got to hit your driver. I'm going, oh, Christ almighty. I said, are you sure? I said, well, he's going for this, and we're not. And we're going to give him the advantage here. And look, he's got his 3-wood out. So we put the 6-iron in the bag, and we brought out this. And as long as I made proper contact with it, I was okay. It was, I mean, it's crazy now. It was 228 yards to clear into the wind with a Tour Ballata 90 ball, which was like a piece of putty, to be honest, nowadays. I mean, you wouldn't use it. It was like a Tour soft thing. But as long as I made proper contact, I was okay. If I'd thinned it or hit it off the heel or the toe, it wasn't going to carry. And it just happened to come off the button. It came off the screws, as we say, and that was that, and it finished it. But it was one of these risk and reward type of situations where I never really did. I was always very, very, I like my golf ball. I like to keep it without losing it. And I didn't like to do anything silly with it, you know? And my 6-iron I wouldn't have lost my ball. I'd been okay. I'd have hit it down there and chipped on and gone to playoff, no doubt, because he birdied the hole anyway. Yeah, this club, I'm glad I've kept it. I'm glad I've kept it. Like my 8 Ryder Cup bags, I've kept every one of them. A lot of them give them to charity and stuff, and with all respect to the charity, I managed to keep them all, and they're all in a case in Dubai right now at the golf club there. But this is one special club. Yeah, I'll never give it. Oh God. Well, if it breaks, it's your fault, okay? But the dirt might. Well, come on. We'll see if it still works. Come on.
Off the deck or off the tee?
Oh no, we'll have to hit it off the deck, won't we? Sorry, I don't mean to. Come on, we'll come on. I'll take my watch off. There's 16 of these watches in the world, right? And I don't mean to talk my watch, but there's a Ryder Cup logo on the back of it. There's 15. There's 16 of them. I went with Guy Kinnings, who's now with the Tour, and we went to Geneva as Ryder Cup captain in 2009 for the 2010, and I was asked to pick out 12 of those watches for the team, and 4 for the vice captains, and 1 for myself. So there's actually 17 of them, and it's got a Ryder Cup logo on the back. So that's a special one. But there's only 17 of them. 17 of them in the world. Yeah. And can you see that? Is it on? No, you see it? Is it there? Where's the logo? Oh, it's on the screen. Okay, fine. There it is.
Still inside.
So yeah, and Simon's got the other one. Right, fine. But they all. It's a nice thing to do. You go to Geneva and you go into the chairman's office at Rolex and you go in and it's all very posh. It's all very Geneva and very Rolex. And it was an honour to walk out with 16 of them. And then I got another, and then having not paid, and the other one because Elazabal, because we had to play. Remember, we had to play 6 matches. It was the first time in Ryder Cup history that everybody had to play at the same time to try and finish this thing by Sunday because of the rain in Wales. And I needed one more vice captain, so that's why there's 17. Because Elazabal, he was actually working for Nespresso Coffee at the time at Celtic Manor, and I thought this was a bad use of his talent. So we got him on board, and he was drafted in as my 5th vice captain. So we had one guy with each group as we went round. So I needed another watch. Yeah. So it cost the tour an awful lot more money. Right, this is my. God, I haven't hit this club for.
So which one? When you did the filming in Dubai with Tommy Fleetwood and there were a couple of others, you played that shot. What club did you use for that one?
I used a 3-wood. I used my 3-wood. I refused to take this with me. I didn't want to take it on a plane in case I lost it. Yeah. So, no, this can't. God, this is bloody hell. Right, okay. This might not work, so we'll see what happens. Right, so this was the shot off the deck. Right. God, it is small, isn't it, Hey? It is small. The advantage of these clubs in the day, though, you see this bevel, you see this sole plate here. And it was quite good. It was almost like a 2-wood, to be honest. It was almost like a brassy in its day, where you could pick it up off the ground because of the sole plate. It was an easy club to hit off the ground in its day. Right. This won't be going any distance, but
that's a proper hit.
I mean, that's struck it okay, was
There
it?
we go. That.
There you go, it's faded. It's faded. And it wasn't bad.
You've only been...
Okay, you see, look, 221, you see, it wouldn't have made it. Shit. But that's age. It's age. 1996, I was 33. I'm now 59, so there's an age thing. There you go, look. But I mean, 220, okay, 222 carry with that's okay, that's fine. You see the spin rate, you see, miles high with the spin because of the clubs now are built, and you can talk about that till the cows come home about the lack of spin on clubs now. Yeah. Nobody wants any spin. Everybody wants to go this way, like a knuckleball, like a, and everyone wants that, and I don't. I want the ball to get up in the air because I hit the ball down, so I need the ball to get up in the air to fly, as opposed to getting these knuckleballs that, okay, it's fine, but it's not holding the green, it's not getting to that front pin, it's not getting over that bunker and stopping the same as we used to do. Yeah.
You mentioned Ryder Cup and your approach in tournament play being more conservative, more don't take risks you don't need to, but you clearly had an amazing Ryder Cup record. So match play, did you take a different mentality into that, or were you just playing the situation of the whole more than the general strategy?
Match play allows you, doesn't it? Allows you more freedom in match play, right? I think in match play, I hit the ball, especially on the greens, I hit the ball a foot harder. And how many went in hitting the ball a foot harder on the greens? Amazing. You could straighten the line of the putt out. Hitting the ball harder, of course, means you're hitting it straighter. And there's no point in match play. You're putting for a half or a win. You're not putting for a loss. So you're putting for a half or a win, so you might as well get it there. And I hit the ball a foot harder. And in stroke play, we're always a little bit, I don't want a three-putt. I don't want to make a mess. You're just a little bit more tentative, a little bit more, conservative with it, as opposed to in match play, I hit the ball harder. And now you're about to say, well, why didn't you do that all the time, And you're quite right, I didn't have the balls to do it, really, I'm afraid. But at the same time, to hit that ball a foot harder on the greens, what a difference. What a difference. And if I'm going to give you a tip here, hit the ball a foot harder next time you're out. It's amazing how many go in. Yeah. Because we underread them anyway. Most putts are missed low. 80% of putts are missed low. So therefore, you've either done two things. You've either misread them or you haven't hit it hard enough. Generally, it's not hitting hard enough. Right? Because we're tentative. We don't go, So hit it a foot harder. It's amazing. It's amazing how many went in the Ryder Cup. And I almost knew they were going to go in because I knew the pace. And if you know the pace of the putt, you got 80% chance of going in. Definitely. Yeah.
Who do you enjoy playing against most in the Ryder Cup? Beating most in the Ryder Cup. Maybe I.
Well, I mean, okay. I didn't play him in singles. I played Tiger 5 times with a partner. Okay, my partners were quite good, because Langer was quite good and still is. And I'm 4-1 against him in Ryder Cup, whether it be foursomes or whether it be 4-ball. So that was okay, because the draw comes out and it's, you've got Langer. You said, well, I don't care who I get. Come on, and then it's Tiger. You think, okay, well, this is come on, this is like. This is good. This is like playing a Liverpool or a Man City or something where you've nothing much to lose. You can only there's a win-win here. If you lose, you're almost expected to. So why not just go and win? So hit the ball harder on the greens. You go for it, and suddenly, bingo. You're 2 up 3 to go, and it's okay. But the big one was Harrington and I against Woods and Mickelson when they came out. They're 1 and 2 in the world at the time. And we played them the first round, the first day. The first shots were hit at Oakland Hills in 2004, and we beat them. That was a big one. They said, they didn't play very well. They were 8 under. We happened to be 10 under for the 17 holes that were played. So, yeah, I mean, that was incredible. You know, we dovetailed brilliantly. I birded the first, he birded the second, I birded the third, he birded the fourth. It was a trail. It was fantastic. And to beat Mickelson and Woods together in America, that was probably the best result, of any. Yeah. Yeah.
As a captain with the pairs, do you have an inkling when you're putting the singles pairs out?
Mm-hmm.
Do you generally have an inkling of where have you kind of planned where you think the other captain's going to put their players?
Oh God, yeah.
The amount of times you see certain matchups come up. I mean, Woozy and couples always, they played about 3-4 times. But
yeah, because they were the
pairings and go.
They just happened to be the quickest players, so they put them out first. And that was in my position. I'm quite a fast player, so I was put out first. And I remember Woozy himself in 2006 at the K Club in Ireland. We were way ahead. We were 11-5 up, I think, on Saturday night. And knowing that America had to put their strength at the top. There's no point leaving it at the back. They might as well put it at the top. So Woozy said, look, Monty, I'd like to go out first, but you know what that means. I said, yes, I know exactly what you mean. I'll be playing Tiger, yeah? And he goes, odds on. I said, I don't know what they're going to do, but odds on they're going to put Tiger out first. So I said, yeah, fine. Shit. So when the draw is made, and what happens is that we have our 12 names, and it's sealed in an envelope. And America do the same in their team, and they seal the envelope. And David Garland, who was the chief referee at the time, opens the 2 envelopes, and 1 plays 1, 2 plays 2, 3 plays 3. And it was coming through in the radio. John Paramore was another referee, and he was reading it out in our locker room, and I never forget, it was Europe first, and I was expecting Tiger Woods, yeah? And I hadn't played him in singles. This happened to be my last Ryder Cup, 2006. So I'd had a reasonable record in singles, and I was anticipating a sleepless night, yeah? Right. So it comes up and it goes, Monty against Tom. Garcia again. I said, hang on, Tom. No, Tom Lehman was the captain. I'm not playing him. He's got that wrong. He's got it mixed up, you see. And it was a crackly sort of walkie-talkie. And it was actually David Toms. It wasn't Tom Lehman. It was David Toms. Anyway, I slept better that night. I did. And I managed to beat him. But it was, yeah, I think Tiger was put number 4, and he played Robert Carlson, and he beat Robert. But at the same time, I'd have loved to have had the opportunity of playing Tiger, because at the same thing, nothing to lose, nothing to lose at all, everything to win. But I never got the opportunity of playing him in the singles. Yeah, just so happens. Yeah.
And you've got another one of your colleagues on tour, Mr. Tony Johnson over there. Did you two play together much on tour? I'm not going to ask for any stories, because I know what you'll
No stories, because we don't have enough time for Tony's stories. But
did you play much together?
Well, hey, next week, isn't it Wentworth next week coming up? Isn't it the Wentworth? And we both won that, haven't we? We both won the PGA at Wentworth, which is something that we're both very proud of. It's their flagship event. It's an incredible field this year. Incredible field they've got assembled, and a great golf course. And it's great to always watch that event and to be part of it, and to having both won it as we have. It's something that holds true for both of us, definitely. Yeah, but we never played that much, did we, together?
Two things. That shot that you hit with the driver over the water was iconic. Every guy the next big hit, you see the shot, Monty. And as you said, the ball went a lot shorter, and none of us could believe we'd done it. And I remember you once, I asked you on the putting day, because you were always great, the best we've ever seen distance-wise. But I remember asking you on the putting day, I said, Monty, if you had to divide up the importance of pace and line
Yes.
in a putt,
Yes.
and you didn't even think about it twice.
Yeah.
You were 90% pace,
Pace.
10% line, and I was
Pace.
always obsessed with line. And the minute you
I played with.
you gave me one good tip at least over the years.
Well, I'm glad it helped. I was always talking about putting, and And there's a couple of studios here, aren't there? You know, the putting studios, which is half the game. You know, we're allowed 36 shots, aren't we, really? And we're allowed 36 putts to play the game. We're allowed 2 shots per hole, average, and we're allowed 2 shots putting. And it's amazing that I was talking about line and pace. I was partnered with Faldo in 1993 at the Belfry. And we played all 4 days, all 4 rounds together, the 2 days of Ryder Cup. And he putted a very different way to me. I putted to the target. So I was all about pace. I putted to the target, right? And if I'm watching a Pro-Am, as I do a lot in the Champions Tour now, all I'll say to the Pro-Am partner is, oh, that's a good pace, meaning it's got half a chance. Because whether it's on line or not, it could be short or it could be too long and it's not going in. Either of them aren't going in. So it doesn't matter. Even if it's on line, it's not going in. But if it's the right pace, it's got half a chance, right? So this is what Faldo was every putt was 2 foot. Doesn't matter what, from here to the wall. Every putt was 2 foot. All he hit it was there. And he was playing a sort of action track. And a 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot to go in. Right? So he's over the ball. Now, he's number 1 in the world at the time. So I'm not, hey, come on, you know, you're not. But I couldn't get this. And you're dead right about the pace. And I couldn't fathom this about how he could hit it 2 foot and get the right pace. To hit it 40 foot is a putt. But he's hitting it 2 foot. Now, yes, he's accurate he's hitting his first spot every time. Of course you are. You got to. But the pace. You know, how does he get that pace? How does he judge it? And he actually wasn't putting well at the time. And I'm thinking, God, I don't want to say to him, but Christ, Nick, pace is everything, you know, in a putt. And it's true, and it always will be. 80% pace, 20% direction. If you've got the right pace, you've got half a chance of going in.
I think the modern guys on tour, have forgotten that. You know, they've got the coaches up there, and it looks like Toys R Us when you go past the...
Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It is.
There's poles and wires.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
It looks like a sex shop or something.
Yeah. That's why I'm still playing.
Allegedly, Tony. Allegedly.
But it is. No.
I've spoken to a few
No.
times, and I'll say, how much do you think about face? And they go, no. You know, what do you do when you read a line? What do you think about first? They go, the line, you know. Completely forgotten that.
I don't know. I know.
Worked out of their head.
I think it's a different game though. You would have been trying to make cuts, get a momentum, have a few top 10 finishes, pick up a win wherever. I think the way the money is put on the tour, you're hardly ever trying to get a top 10. You're not fighting for a top 10. If you feel like you've got half a chance, it's like it's 245 over the water, the lie's not great, we're going for it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's what they do, didn't it?
Right?
That's what they do now.
I've got an 8-footer, if I miss it, I'll maybe have another 8-footer in another month and I'll make that. Right? So the risk management is a way different thing than you guys.
Totally.
It's an easier game. It's a way easier game.
Totally.
Now
If it doesn't work,
than it was when you played.
if it doesn't work this week, they reckon, well, it'll work next.
Yeah.
And blow it.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get these guys now. Miscut, win.
Yeah.
You think, where's that come from? That's nonsense. You know, he's obviously playing no, he's not playing badly. His risk-reward strategy was wrong for three weeks in a row, right? He went for some stupid shots, which they all do. I mean, the days of laying up. Nobody lays up nowadays. Lays up? What the hell's that all about? Lays up. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter where it's lying or what it's doing. Everyone's going for these things. If it works, great, I'll win. If it doesn't, oh bollocks, I'll try next week. Yeah.
I think that has changed how, like when you're managing your games and you as well, your risk management with your caddy, you were both great caddies. You were always in the right place, right?
Yeah.
Henrik
Yeah.
Stenson
We were
was
caddies.
right?
Yeah.
Henrik would have no clue why am I
Well, he doesn't. But anyway, carry on.
Why am I
Bad person to. Carry on. Yeah.
Wow, I'm in this bunker that's 305 off the tee. I didn't know there was a bunker here.
Yeah.
You go, oh, well, next week I'll have to. I mean, it's a different.
It is.
Strategy's different. The role of the manufacturer is way different.
Mm-hmm.
It was equipment. If you don't have equipment support as a top player, you're not going to be a top player.
No.
So if you're a good
No.
young kid who's 17, but you don't have a manufacturer who's pumping you the best kit, you never hear of it.
No.
And so club fitting, which is topical,
Slightly.
It's probably the biggest factor that you have to have that support right now.
But it's not just in the pro game, right? It's here. It's here in the amateur game. There's no one here that's an amateur golfer that wants to have a higher handicap than he has right now.
Yeah.
Not one of you.
Yeah.
You all want to have a lower handicap. You know?
With wooden drivers, I genuinely think, and what have you, you couldn't buy a better game, right?
No.
That is not true now.
No, you can. You can. And this proves it here. Look at this. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is shafts. My God. I mean, Christ, we had a steel shaft and that was it, wasn't it? I don't know what it was, really.
3 flexes.
Yeah. There was a 3 flex. If you were very, very strong and, you might have gone for an X, And if you're really quite good, you were S.
You wouldn't know if it was. You wouldn't know.
You didn't know.
There's no way you'd know. You'd have to
Didn't know.
You'd have to hit. You'd be hitting wooden drivers going, well, I haven't got any other options. I'll try that this week.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're waiting and you're trying to feel like, I remember Adam Mednick had some amazing wooden drivers. I can't remember. And Faldo was like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
listen, you start coaching Adam. And then I'll play some practice rounds. I'll get a hold of that driver there. by the end of the desert swing.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll get him a couple of practice rounds. He'll be amazed to play golf with me.
Yeah.
Next Monday, you say, Adam, hey, listen, so I've just been talking to Nick. He'd love to have a game of golf with you. Really? Right, and it worked.
But it took a day and a half for the glue to dry.
Well, that's one of the big things for us, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing for you. You can suddenly have a fitting here, and you've tried 25 clubs in 5 minutes.
And you also,
We had to wait for the glue to dry for a night to set.
what about a 290 golf ball?
Well, just what happened there.
Probably the centre wasn't right.
Yeah,
I just throw that out.
yeah.
Really?
Remember those liquid centres they used to have? If anyone, because I was a bit of a nerd, I used to cut them up. I used to saw them up, and oh Christ, this thing exploded in the middle.
It was corn syrup was what they had in the middle of a balata.
Corn
Yeah,
syrup.
they made out it was something really toxic. So,
Yes.
so people didn't chop them up.
Oh, really?
But actually,
Is this the reason?
It was literally just
Is this the
corn-
reason I'm in such a pickle now?
corn
Is it?
syrup. Yeah, it was something completely innocuous.
Well,
But
there you go.
You wouldn't want to go in a bunker in one of those. One thin and it was done.
Oh, absolutely
It's
done.
an expensive game with
Yeah.
a balata.
Oh, done. Done.
One iron shot. When you
One iron shot. One iron shot. Skin the ball. You used to be able to. You could actually pick it up with the thread of the ball, couldn't you, off the green. You could actually pick it up. And this is ridiculous.
right? The guys who had pink wedges use a ball or wedge. Well, I mean, just one shot.
Yeah.
And then every now and then you'd forget the balatas in the boot of your car. And you'd spend a week with oblong balls.
Never been an oblong ball. Come on now. Fantastic. No. No. Right, no, not at all. Yes, I'll use my own driver. Right, here's my bag here. It just arrived. I don't travel with my bag anymore. I've given up on airlines losing bags. So ship sticks I use a lot of the time. I don't know whether a few of you have done this. And it makes a huge difference when you're hiring a car in America or something and you don't have your clubs with you to try and go on these buses and trains and trams and stuff. So that's just arrived today. So it's quite good. Right, here we go. So this is my driver. This is my tournament driver. It's a ping, as you see, a 10.5 degrees, which is set, again, you see, for launch, it's set 1 degree up. So it's actually 11.5, right? Hazardous. But I don't even...
Do you want the tech description?
Christ, hang on, can I read this? Hazardous smoke,
RDX smoke blue.
Right, come on then.
Slightly counterbalanced, stiff tip, mid-launch, low spin in theory, but more balance point, little upper
All
mid
right.
balance point.
Say that again quickly. Right, okay. I mean, hey, tends to find the odd fairway. And really, I'm still in the old-fashioned way, and I'm sure Tony's the same. This club, yes, it's for length, but it's also, I want to be on the fairway, right? Right? The reason I led the greens and regulation stat for many years on the European Tour was because I was playing from the fairway. I've never seen a decent iron player from the rough, ever, right? And the reason I did that, hitting the fairways, was I was on the fairway to start with, and I got a decent lie.
Mark,
Yeah?
You had a lot of your strength stolen from you by
Yes, I did.
Because you used to hit most fairways.
Yes.
And you were, and I really hate to make it say nice things, but you were the best
Well,
we ever saw on tour with distance control.
distance control, because Tony, I was on the fairway. You cannot have, but you cannot,
Everybody does it.
everybody does it. But distance control now has gone out the window. I mean, it's a thrash and it's a wedge. Yeah. I mean, the 500-yard par 4. I mean, for years, Peter Dawson, who was the chief executive of the R&A, could never bring himself to have a 500-yard par 4 in the Open. There were always 499. There was about 3 or 4 of them in a round of golf. Suddenly they're all 490. It's a funny figure. Peter, I said, what's this about? He says, well, yeah, they're way over 500. He says, but I'm not having it. He says, I'm not having it. He says, they're 499. You know, I'm not having this. And a 500-yard par 4 now, 350-yard driver, 150. It's 150 yards in. It's not even a big wedge.
600-yard par 5.
I mean,
Driving a 4.
yeah. But the 500-yard par 4 driver wedge. I mean, yourself. I mean, you were what, flying at 330, going 350? Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's casual. Thank you very much. Don't know what the hell I'm hitting for. And a wedge in, 500-yard par 4. Drive a wedge. I mean, what?
Well, the Ironman used to limit it, didn't they? The recommendation in the rules, 474 yards was the maximum.
It was. It was. 250 was the. That was a driver 3-wood. Of course it was. That was a driver 3-wood. 250 yards plus another 230. That was your par 5. You know, is it better? Is it better now? Is it better now? I think it's probably more interesting now, seeing the ball hit, you know, and struck. If I was to go and watch a golf tournament now, I would probably tend to sort of equate to sort of a Bryson to see the ball hit, or Rory to see it struck, you know. Is it a better game? It was more chess. We played more chess with it, didn't we? It was a game of chess. We played the hole the way it was designed, really. A look at the 13th at Augusta now. The way it was designed was you went out to the right or straight, and then you had a longer shot in. Now it's as the crow flies over the trees that. Well, these trees, you've no idea. If you haven't been there, a few of you probably have. If you haven't been there, these trees are bloody high. I mean, 150 foot high. I mean, just ridiculous. And the apex of the drive nowadays, what are you talking about on tour? 120?
Yeah, you know, it's
120 feet high. And I tend to, you'll see this ball here. I'm still warming up, by the way. I hit the ball, what, 60, 70 high?
We're about 90.
Yeah,
Is it?
About 90
I
feet.
think it's changed. So there's definitely a certain type of player who has the advantage that there's a cut-off, and so if you take someone who's got a 115 plus club head speed,
Yes.
there's a lot more a fitter can do with that than if you're 107 and that's it.
Yes.
It's a less dynamic part. I mean, I just read you. This was in 1948. Ben Hogan was the best player in the world by far, right? And I'll just pick out some numbers. So 7-iron, right? And he really hit it hard. 7-iron, 135 carry. These are his numbers, okay? 5-iron is 155 yards to carry. 3-iron is 175 yards to carry. His 1-iron was 195. He had a 3-wood, it went 235. And his driver, and this was the longest on the tour, was 265.
That was long in 1948.
But if you think, 7-iron would say 135, so current 7-iron, almost a weaker standard 7-iron loft would be 32, 33 degrees.
Yeah.
His 7-iron would have been
Yeah, 6 off that.
36, 37,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more, maybe nearer 40.
Yeah.
So yeah, say 9-iron loft now.
So we've come a long way.
And they think if you look at his number, they reckon he had like 120 miles an hour club head speed. Not like the silverback gorilla we're seeing.
Yes, who's more than that. You'll find this,
Mentioned 260 then.
I used to be, I think I was about 110 at my peak club head speed when the first Trackmans came out, and I was down at the San Diego, the Carlsbad Callaway place where they used to, first things I'd seen here, and I was about 110 club head speed with my driver. Now you'll see, well, this won't go any more than, I'm afraid, if it reaches 104, we're doing well. So I've lost 6 miles an hour in 25 years. And what's happened is that 6 miles an hour, which equates to what, 20 yards? Ish?
Yeah,
Yes?
not far, yeah.
20 yards I've lost. I've gained in club and ball together. Probably 10 each, really, I suppose. So that's why I'm hitting the ball the same distance now as I did. And unfortunately, it's difficult without going to the gym. Or these speed sticks are quite good, aren't they? They're hard work, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bloody hell, the hard work.
Training
But it's
your
training
muscles to work at the higher
training.
rate.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's training the muscles to get to this lag business. So you get back, and then this business to get the power here. It's never really been my game, but at the same time, to compete nowadays, it's a different game. Even in our game now, we're playing against Podrick Harrington now, who's just turned 50. I'm 10 years older than him. He's at 180 ball speed. Now that's serious.
Yeah, that's
For a
about
senior golfer.
120 club speed, yeah.
120 club speed. That's very serious for a so-called senior player. Yeah. And that's why he's doing very well right now, you know. So we'll see. Right, here we are. Let's see if we can get to 104, all right? So that was 221, if you remember. Yes, that was 221 carry, and it was wet because it was about 228 to carry. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Right, this one here, first swing. Right, so we'll see how this goes. Oh dear. Oh dear, look. That's not, that doesn't say 99, does it?
No.
Your machine, no.
No.
Didn't you say you were going to alter the machine today?
Meters per second?
Yeah. But you see, there you go. I mean, I'm this it's a bit low. Can I tilt a wee bit higher now? Can I just get a wee bit higher? Heading down on the ball a wee bit. Far too much spin at 3,000, yes. And
a little low on the face.
Yes, and a little low in the face. But that's, hey, you know, I mean, what's that going? 253, right? Now, to me, okay, that'll run out hopefully a little bit more than that on a fairway. Say 260, 265, 270 if I've struck it well. But look where it is. It's on the fairway. It's in the middle of the bloody fairway, right? Okay, yes, it's wide. Yes. Right? Whoever invited you, you're not welcome anymore. But at the same time, I'm aiming down the 18th fairway here, not the first, okay? And it's on the fairway, and I've got an iron shot into the green, and it doesn't matter what iron shot it is, I'll be able to hit that green because it's a very big green. You have a big green? Thank you. Very big green, and I've got a birdie putt, right? Now, if that ball goes 20 yards further, right, I'd much rather be where I am. Sorry to say, this is my old-fashioned talking here, but I'd much rather be on the fairway there than 20 yards in the rough with not knowing how far the second shot's going to go. If I can get to the green at all. If it's lying well enough to hit the green or to carry that front bunker that I can do here. I know there's no bunker at the 18th little course. I know. Fine.
How good a driver of the golf ball you were?
Well, both the same. I'll take either.
What tee shot can you remember feeling the most nervous about? With driving, of course.
Crumbs. Nervous, I suppose. Yeah, uncomfortable. Having the opening shot in the Ryder Cup's not good. Right, I've done that twice. 95 and 2004. And I've had the opening shot, the very first shot, because we're visitors, so we get the honour in America. And the trouble is, you're a professional at the job, and the expectation is high that you are supposed to hit the fairway. It's your job. So get on with it. People don't understand that you're shaking like a bloody leaf, and you haven't slept for 3 nights knowing that the captain's said that you're going to go off first, and it isn't always easy. It's a fickle game, you know. We know that, and it's not the easiest. But that's probably the hardest. That's probably the worst I've felt, knowing that the expectation was that I hit the fairway.
But none in tournament play leading down the last.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. No, nothing. Oh no, they're a breeze.
So with the one that,
compared to that, no.
So nothing. 18th at Valderrama with Scott Hoke in that situation. Was
well, that was
similar?
that was it was his honour, and because he just birdied 17 to go back to square. Scott Hoke at Valderrama '97, and he'd hit a drive down the left-hand side, which was a good drive, but it didn't carry the last tree. And I was waiting for the crowd's reaction, and there was a sort of semi-applause, which meant that it wasn't on the fairway, right? So I knew that if I'd struck mine properly, I'm a little bit longer than him in the day, that I could get over that tree and manage it. So that's why that was. But that was nothing compared to the first shot. Yeah, the first shot. When you've waited 2 years for this to happen again, and it's the first shot to start the Ryder Cup. It's a bad one. Yeah, a really bad one. It really is. It's not good. Your partner's there, Fowler's standing there, number one in the world. Oh shit, you know. And you tend to look at your grip. You know, you think, am I gripping the club right? You know, you do, don't you? You know, you do. You tend to grip at your grip, and you think, oh God, all the captains, the vice captains, all the hangers on. In fact, in 95 at Oak Hill, I had to. It was my tee shot. It was a dog leg, right to left. The first hole at Oak Hill, down the hill, it was a dog leg right to left. And obviously, being a fader of the ball, I wanted to get as far to the right-hand side of the tee as possible, right? So I didn't have to feel I had to draw it. I could hit it straighter from the right-hand side of the tee. I couldn't see the right side of the tee. The people were on it. Everyone was on it. I had to ask people on the tee to move so I could see the tee marker, the Ryder Cup tee marker, so I could come over here and actually tee up. I couldn't see the tee marker because the amount of people on the tee, first shot, all this stuff. And I'm thinking, this is ridiculous, you know? So yeah, that's a daunting shot, that. Not a good one. Right, I'll try and hit this a bit further. You're just laughing, aren't you? What do you call him? Silverback to what?
It's a monkey.
I think that's yeah.
It's a monkey.
Right.
It's not on-
Light hands.
on that evolution.
Light hands at address, okay? Really light hands. I'm like 3 or 4 out of 10. Okay? 3 or 4 out of 10. I'm hardly gripping the club, right? And that takes all the stress out my forearms, right? If you grip the club really tight here, right, like we do, right? Look at the stress comes up. And we can't get the club back far enough, right? And then, of course, if we're haven't got far enough back, we're not turning. Therefore, most shots go right, especially off the first tee when we're a little bit nervous and anxious, right? So light hands at address, get back as far as one can. Don't rush the backswing, and then try and hit it a little bit further without. Right, here we go. Right, light hands. That was a better launch, I think.
Yeah.
Was
like
it?
that. Yep.
Oh, 100. Look, we've got 100. Right. And 240, 241, 260. Right. Again, look, I've hit that fairway again. Look at that. Amazing. And again, I can find the green from that position. Right. I'm never going to be the longest off the tee, and I don't want to try and do something that I'm not capable of. I'd rather play to my strengths, which is my iron play from the fairway, and put an emphasis on from the fairway. Yeah? Because we're always better from the fairway. That's why they mow it for us. That's why they cut it for us. They cut it. And they say, look, if you hit it, you get an advantage. Yeah?
So would you always practice what you're good at?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, try to be better at what I'm good at. Yes, and obviously if you're chipping poorly or something, and the odd lesson or what have you, and the odd tidbit, but always taking something from a round of golf as well. Always learning from every round of golf. I think that's key. A lot of people don't. I learn, and I've taken away something from that round of golf. Every round of golf you play, take something from it, whether it be whether it be a concentration, or whether it be taking your time with a certain shot, or whether it be a little chip shot. Am I going to weaken this left hand here so the club stays open more? Or a little tidbit from every round of golf is key. Yeah, we're always learning, aren't we? We're always learning. Gary Player says he's 90, whatever he is now. He says he's learning every round of golf he plays, you know? And we should learn all the time. Yeah, because no one's ever conquered this game. Few people have come close. Ben Hogan probably came the closest in a technical way to play the game of golf. But no one's ever conquered it. No one's ever mastered it. No one ever will. I mean, the guys that shot 59, they go, God, there's a couple left out there. Didn't hole everything, did they? Didn't birdie every hole, or else it'd been 54.
Oh, Kimmy
You know,
did that.
so you know what I mean. There's always something that we can better ourselves with at this game, and that's why. Hey, we're here in this studio, and this is why you've been so successful, lads, in doing what you do, because we want to get better. Doesn't matter what handicap the guy comes in at. If he comes in at 17 handicap, to get him down to 13 or 12, I mean, it's a huge difference. Or even 12 to get to single figures. My God, isn't that fantastic? Single figure handicap, you know, you walk in, don't you? You know, the chest goes out, you walk in better. Or even 4 to get to scratch. My God, you know, to get to scratch handicap, it's a big deal. A huge deal to say you're scratch. I remember it happened to me, and God almighty, scratch. You know, it wasn't that word, isn't it? Scratch golfer. I can play, you know. Christ, plus what? No, God knows, minus, whatever it is. No, it's not plus, Tony, believe me. No. But it's amazing how we all want to get better. And that's why you pair, and that's why this has been so successful. And I'm so glad for both of you that the hours you've put in to have this facility now is superb. And all credit to you, both of you. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
I guess I've got any questions in particular they want to ask Colin? Beyond what we've already gone over.
Go on.
I'm a PJ pro and
Yes.
over the years, and
Scratch.
You were always my example when I did sort of playing lessons on where to stand on the tee.
Yes.
Well, so I paid all the merits, but I didn't miss a fairway, but I didn't have it left. So
Yes.
you think you should tee it up? And I always, used to say, the right hand side.
Well, that's yes.
Whole fairways sort of miss it, or things like that.
Definitely, yes.
For me, most golfers, if there's a straight par 4, they'll stand in the middle of the tee box because that's a nice spot for that divots, and they'll aim for the middle of the fairway. You've only got
Well, that's what I always felt, that it was half a chance of going left or right.
Yeah.
You know, you see that shape there. I'm aiming down the left-hand side of the fairway, even sometimes in the left-hand semi, to be honest, right? Knowing, and it's key, knowing that it's not going to go left, right? I've got the whole fairway to hit this ball into. If it moves this amount, it's perfect. If it moves a wee bit more, I've still got a lot of fairway right-left, you know, right of me. For those of you who aim down the middle, to me, it's not quite sure if it's going right or left. You've only got, say, 15 yards either side to hit into. I've got 30. And that's why I hit the fairways. And that's not just that's why I hit the greens. And that's why you have more birdie putts than anyone else. Because you've hit the fairways to start with.
I think that's difficult then, though, because you have so many opportunities to hold putt.
Well, then, yes. I was never in the top 10 putting, ever. I think my best, when I won the Order of Merit those times in a row, I think my best was about 30th in putting. Right? But if you hit the greens in regulation, you can have more putts and still win. You know? And that's why it worked. I didn't, as I say, I averaged 16 greens in regulation, right? For many years, right? 16 greens. I had to hole 4 putts out of those 16, which really isn't very good. 4 out of 16 putts on the greens, wherever it might have been, right?
Sounds pretty
68.
Sounds pretty good to me.
68. Right? It was a very simple formula, really. It was a simple formula. And I stuck to it. But it was...
Head strokes gained in those days, you were in Ryder.
Yes. Yes, strokes gained, possibly. Yes, we didn't have these stats. There was greens in regulation. There was a driving distance. Putts per round. There wasn't a percentage, you know. We just heard that Cam Smith or something this year on the tour, which is ridiculous, that the greens he's hit, right, he's holed 38% of the putts the greens he's hit. So that's 4 out of 10. So I'm holding 4 out of 16. He's holding 7 out of 16. That's dramatic. Times 4 it is. So I'm 16 under. He's 28 under. That's a huge difference when you times it by 4, you know. Massive, and that's why he's not. You know, look at the last coming back in 30 to win the Open. Was only to do with his putting, really.
So of those 8 or merits, do you have a particular year that really stands out when you felt the game was at its best?
The best was 1999. I played 25 tournaments that year. It was limited, really. And I was never outside the top 20 in any event, including the majors. So that was the best. Yeah, that was the best I played in 99. I won 6 times in Europe, but it was a matter of doing exactly what I'm doing here. That was the best. 99. Where I didn't. It was a conveyor belt. You know, I just hit the fairways and hit the greens.
Through the season, not much changed.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed, including the bag of clubs. Didn't change. And I think nowadays, sometimes with all the manufacturers out on the tour, it's so easy. It's too easy to change. The options are available. You know, oh, well, this isn't working, so okay, oh, great, look, there's all these vans here, and it's all free, you know. Wow, I'll have a go with this, you know. And I was always told that we never, ever practice in competition. And I never did that. I was playing I was competing in competition. I wasn't practicing in competition. And if anyone tries to practice in competition, it doesn't work. It might work occasionally, 5 holes. But then this club, it doesn't work, does it? Oh, God, I thought it did. Hit it okay in the range, you know? How often does that happen? Hit it okay in the range. Oh, bugger it. Doesn't work now. You know? And you go back to what you know. Yeah, so yeah, but that was, 99 was the best I played. Yeah.
Being such a good iron player, what was your gapping per stick?
Well, there wasn't really a gapping as such. It was more a feel, you know? It was more a feel. I could hit a 7-iron 140, I could hit it 160, just by feel, you know? And the 6-iron was 150 to 170, just by feel. So it wasn't really a gapping as such. It wasn't a method of the American system whereby you hit it 157.4 and it screws back 0.6. It wasn't one of those. It was a feel. I could feel the distance. Yeah, I could feel it on the way down. I could feel, okay, that's the 165 shot. And I could feel it.
Was that tempo change?
That was tempo, yeah. That was tempo. That's all my swing is, really. It's just tempo. It hasn't really changed. I hit through the ball. I don't hit at it. Most amateurs hit at the ball and then start looking for it. So you're here and you hit it and then, isn't it? Or even the head goes before, you know? And then, of course, the club's wide open and it goes to the right. As opposed to hitting through the ball, I always feel that the club or the ball is 2 foot past where it is. And I'm hitting through the ball and I'm not stopping, right? If I'm swinging here, I'm not stopping because I've made contact. I'm not stopping. My swing is I'm still hitting the ball through here. That's why I've got quite a high follow through, follow through, because I'm still hitting the ball now. I haven't stopped. I hit through the ball as opposed to at it. It's a big difference. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Could you tell us
within reason, Colin, your favourite Ryder Cup story, either from playing or just when you captain the team?
I like that. Within reason.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure there's a few you can't.
Well, without going into the locker room, yeah. I remember, God, it goes back my first Ryder Cup, probably in 91 at Kiwa Island. And I was a rookie, very much a rookie. And we were rookies then. We were rookies. I mean, Steve Richardson, David Guilford. There was Paul Broadhurst in that team. Rookies. I mean, real rookies. And then, of course, you're playing against or you're playing with Seve, Lyle, Faldo, Langer, Woosnam. You think, shit, this is, ooh, hang on. It was very much a them and us, right? There was 6 of them and there was 6 of us. You know, and it was very much, and if they played well, great. And they helped us through. So, first day, practice round on Tuesday. We flew in on Monday. And practice round on Tuesday. And the locker rooms were quite tight. In fact, Kiwa Island wasn't open officially. The locker rooms hadn't been finished. It was PJ of America had got this course, this ocean course, this famous course that we all know now, but it wasn't quite finished. The locker rooms were quite tight. And all our shoes were laid out. And I was with Stylo shoes at the time. Remember Stylo shoes? This is showing my age. My God, 1991.
See, all the
It
reps
was
in the
30.
one, they're going, I
So
remember
it's
those.
30, yeah. Yeah, and they're all going, God, shut up. I remember them. 31 years ago. And I remember putting on this pair of Stylo shoes, and they were a bit big. But I thought, oh, well, just gone to the range. Went on to the range with these big Stylo shoes, you know. A good size too big. And I thought, well, obviously they'd got the wrong size. It doesn't matter. I was so nervous. I just wanted to get on the range and get on the course. So I was safe on the course, away from all the hubbubaloo of the Ryder Cup. And I'm on the range. And Faldo comes out. He's also with Stylo shoes. And he's had these shoes and he's bringing them on the range. He says, these will be yours, Monty. I go, oh, shit, I've got your shoes on. And I thought, oh, no, what a start, you know? What a start to a Ryder Cup, well, career. I didn't know I was going to play more than once. And I thought, I've got his shoes on. So here's me taking off his shoes on the practice ground. And what an embarrassment. You know? Anyway, we did okay. But that's one story. But I mean, I keep you here all night about Ryder Cup stories. Could write a book about every one of them. But yeah, that's one particular.
So everyone is captain of a Ryder Cup versus, what was your favourite bit of being captain?
Favourite bit? My God.
Other than lifting the trophy.
Favourite bit of being captain. It was unbelievable. Where the fact that I said this a few times, that in the Ryder Cup, you know, I had control up until the very first tee shot when Westwood and Keimer teed off, and I'd suddenly walked back to the tee and I'd lost control. I'd lost control completely. I thought, oh, damn it, this isn't working, because they're going to take 4.5 hours out there. They better bring back something. They better bring back at least half a point. I'd lost control of my team that I'd had control of for this time. And it was a terrible feeling for someone who likes to be in control, to have lost that control somehow. I couldn't coach them. I could watch them and I could G them up, but you know, not much in that. The preparation had gone, and now they had they had the control of the game and I didn't. It was the first time in the Ryder Cup that I didn't have control. When I was playing, I had a certain amount of control because I was hitting a ball. So I felt somehow you had control. But someone else doing it, oh, no, I didn't like that. And yet they were better than I was. They were better than me. That's why they were playing, and I wasn't. But I hated it, you know? And yes, great to win the Ryder Cup, yes, by that half a point. And Hunter Mahan's always on the Christmas list. He's great, you know. Remember on 17 where he just duffed his chip, and unfortunate, you know, lovely shot he hit. And it was one of these things that it was more relief, you know, than anything else. It was 2 years of my life gone, completely away from the game. and more relief on winning than it was on celebration. The team celebrated. I didn't. I was shattered. I was just relieved that it got to 14.5 points, which is all we needed. Yeah. But it wasn't stories about that. Yeah, there's all sorts of things went on in the team rooms and all the sort of stuff that was going on. But it wasn't. There was nothing really that was out of the ordinary. It was just a very proud moment, when Prince Charles gives you the trophy and he said, "Well done, thank you, Prince of Wales," and what have you. Well, we were, but it was more relief. Yeah, it was like, thank Christ that's finished. Yeah. And then somebody said, "Do you want to do it again?" What? Are you mad? Are you absolutely mad? No chance. Would you ever think about doing that again? Huh?
Especially
no
having
chance.
won as well.
Especially when you've won. Oh God, win, lucky, get out. Oh yeah, madness if you do that again, having won. That's where Katrina Matthew did so well with the ladies in the Solheim Cup, where she actually took it on again in America, having won it at Gleneagles so well, and then took it on again. I thought, oh no, Katrina, don't do that. And she won it again. So that was brilliant to think that, to do it twice and win it twice. That was brilliant for her. Yeah. We've never had that. Tony Jacklin, I think, won it twice in a row, did he? I think he would have.
Lost it twice and won it once, didn't he?
That was Bernard.
Maybe not. He
That
won it
Bernard
with-
Gallagher.
That was Bernard. That was Bernard Gallagher. Yeah. I think Tony Jacklin won
There
it
was
back
a
to back, and we've never had that
Belfry-
since. But
yeah,
that
he
was
won at Belfry,
that
won
was
at
when
Village.
that was way back in the mid '80s.
European team, maybe ever.
Yes.
The 5 best players in the world, all were European.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
That was one of the
Couples.
big things, is like
Couples was number 6. That's right.
When you first went to America, you were probably more experienced than the other guys who were rookies, but you never played in America. Like,
No.
Wilder was the number 1 player in the
No.
world, and he probably played the 3 majors that were in America, and maybe he would be invited to Jack Nicklaus's tournament, or maybe he would be invited to Arnold Palmer's tournament. That was it.
In '91, I'd played in the Ryder Cup at Kiowa. I hadn't played in a major in America. My first major in America was '92 at Pebble Beach.
And the camaraderie was
Hadn't played in a major.
between us and the Americans.
Or there was zero.
Zero. How,
I didn't know them, they didn't know me, there was nothing. There was 2 separate entities completely. Now it's they're playing every week together and it's a different feel. But it was very much America and Europe. Very much, especially Kiowa Island. Good. That was a.
Kira was the worst. Kira or Wolfman were the worst? Kira was not great.
No, Kiowa wasn't good, but Brookline was awful. That was a baddie. We made one error that we underestimated that America had lost it in 95, 97, and they weren't willing to lose it 3 times in a row in 99. We underestimated that they came out to win on that Sunday especially. And we underestimated that, and we should have respected that a little bit more than we did. And the team selection, well, not the team selection, but the way the team was put out. Looking back on it now, you wouldn't do it now. To put 3 rookies in there, number 3, 4, and 5, who hadn't played before, who hadn't played a match before, who hadn't played before the singles, all lost. And so that 10-6 margin was 10-9, really. And playing away from home isn't easy. We had a very young team. It was the first team that we never had: Seve, Langer, Faldo, Woosnam, Lyle. Yeah. We never had them. And it was a transitional period for us, but at the same time, on the playing pitch, God, it was awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah. But hey, these things changed. The world changed. 9/11 changed the world, changed them and us. We realised that we're now allies, and 2002 was a very different Ryder Cup from the 99 and 97s, which was a bit of a war. And it changed the whole face of it, to be honest. And it's a lot better for it now. Yeah. Anything else? Sorry, I don't want to keep anybody.
No,
I don't want to
if anyone's got anything else. Anything else in particular? If not, we probably ought to do some official stuff like cut a ribbon.
Well, come on then. We better open this fantastic facility because it really is the best. Well, it's the best in the country by a country mile. Yeah,
you.
it is the best in the country, and you're the best guys, and it's fantastic to see everybody here. And we're all here to honour you both, really. So come on, let's cut a ribbon and open this fantastic facility. Come on.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Don't break too
Fantastic.
close.
So where are we? Have you got something?
There's a bit of
Oh, well done.
red stuff.
It's a story, isn't it? What? We got a ribbon there, have we? Is it there?
No, it's all
Come on
over.
then.
Yeah.
Who's doing this? Are you
Oh,
doing this?
You.
Oh, are we
official, yeah.
involved? Oh, Christ. Here we are.
We're doing it to this side.
God, you've come from the car park. Well done.
Use the laser machine.
Oh, look, no.
Phase 2 opened by Colin Montgomerie.
Oh, come on, look at that. Oh, that's
He's
fantastic.
got a
Come
new
on.
toy. He's got to use it on
Oh,
something.
so we've got a bit underneath here. Right, come on. Right.
I'll go.
Here we go. Come on then. Well, you better help me. Come on, lads. Come on. We'll all do it together. Come on.
Cheesy.
Crowd behind. Sorry, excuse me. Wrong one. That's the first Miss Fairway for a while. Right, come on, lads. Come on, we'll all do it together. Come on. Hold the thing. Come on. Ready? God, I better get this right. Christ. Are you on?
You're ready to go whenever you are.
Well done.
There we go. Lovely.
Congratulations, lads.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Brilliant. Well done.
So
I'll leave this to
basically,
you. Look at
all the staff and the guys are here to show anyone around, any of the facility, anything you want to see. Just let us know. Enjoy the drinks and the canapes. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We will be setting up a couple of bits in the bays just to, if anyone wants something interactive. There's a lot of shaking heads going on over there. Then we'll have a couple of bits in there. Round of golf with you and me at St George's Hill. Anyone nearest the pin? There we go.
If you haven't seen the putting studio, please do grab one of the staff members to take you up there. It's air conditioned.
Brilliant.
Just enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you. Wonderful.